Hello and thank you all of you for we've got a great attendance today for joining me on the top 5 cross-country rail journeys that we can provide for you with Amtrak Vacations. My name is Narelle and I'm based here in Sydney working for this American company, and it gives us so much joy in putting together a lot of these itineraries for our clients and also our travel agents. We work with clients and also agents, all agents. So before we do get started, please download your free handout so you'll just see them there. There's actually there's the sleeping accommodation flyer, I believe, and also a maximum flexibility flyer, which we will touch on a couple of those points through this presentation. You can also ask questions at any time by popping it in the question box. Now, we'll get an alert, so we'll know that your question has come through. However, I won't answer those questions until the very end of the presentation. So while you can as well, if you've got a pen and paper handy, write down that number at the bottom, 1300 650 257, because you never know what questions might come after this presentation. And you can also just call us whenever you do have that question, and you're going to be put through to a consultant in about 3 seconds. You can also explore a lot of our itineraries, just our suggested itineraries, on amtrakvacations.com.au. So let's have a look at who we are. That's always very important as to where are our roots. Well, Yankee Leisure Group is the owner of our company, and we have 2 distinct brands here in Australia. We have Amtrak Vacations, and we also have our Rail Bookers product. Amtrak Vacations dealing purely with America, and that's why we're here today. Our Rail Bookers deals with the rest of the world. So wherever you're looking at traveling to, we can put together a fabulous itinerary made to order. All you need to do is give us a call and let us know what you would like to do. We also do have offices all around the world. So we've got them in London, Boston, Toronto, Laguna, which is just outside of Los Angeles, and also Sydney, Australia. So you are serviced around the clock as well. Depending on whereabouts you are traveling, you can always get in touch with a local office. Let's have a look at this Amtrak Vacation System map. Now, all of these different coloured lines represent a different train on that train route. So we'll have a look at a couple of those trains. Now, there's not too much difference in each train. It's just that's what they're called: the Empire Builder, Coast Starlight, Californian Zephyr, Southwest Chief. We'll have a look at only a couple of those today, as much as our time will allow. Chicago is the hub for Amtrak Vacations. Now, out of Chicago, we can get you to over 500 different railway stations if you were to book through us. So no matter where it is that you want to go, if the train goes there, so do we. So any of those 500 plus stations, we can put that itinerary together for you. So what I guess makes us different is we're not flying. We are on the ground. We are where no automobile has ever been before. You can enjoy onboard dining options, grab a quick bite or snack in the car while you're on a beautiful scenic journey, let's say, to your destination. We cater for all of your bucket list experiences. So this will be the highlight of the vacation, because you will just see all the different landscapes and scenery, which is really only accessible by train. On board, there's a lot of room to roam. So you can get up, stretch your legs, and enjoy all that the train has to offer. You can see all of the amazing dramatic views of the passing scenery from the lounge car. So there's also a special lounge car that you can go up and have a nice view from. So you're not confined to your seats. It's pretty much where that room to roam, and it's so important now. We like to get up, stretch our legs, and explore. We offer a city-to-city service. So what does this mean? You save a lot of time. You're not going through any security points. You're not spending a lot of money in taxis and however other modes of transportation in getting, for example, to an airport. We do city-to-city service. So the train leaves from the central point in that city and arrives in the central point in your next city. We've also got the flexibility. So with our daily departures, because the train runs every day, we can help you get to any of those 500 stations, and we can organise the perfect train vacation for you. You just need to let us know how long you're going for, what you'd like to see, areas of interest, and also your budget can help us as well, and we can put all of that together for you. We are absolutely hassle-free, so all you need to do is sit back, relax, and our vacation specialists will do all of that planning for you. They have the systems that can pull all of these trains and pair them all up, and also point out some interesting places that you might wish to stop at along the way. We do look after you when it comes to independent rail journeys. So all you need is one night's accommodation and one piece of rail in there, and we can put together anything that you would like. We do have a maximum flexibility offer as well, just because we don't know when those planes are going to be flying again, because we need the planes to get us to the trains. Then we are offering a maximum flexibility because the goalposts are moving, and all you need to do is change. We can change your travel up to 5 days prior without incurring any change or cancellation fees. So we're actually seeing a number of inquiries right now for Alaska and also the national parks when it comes to North America. We're getting quite a bit for Europe as well, because people still want to travel. You might have air credit, or you might also have a future credit voucher with us. So we can always just amend that booking for you. All of our rail vacations are fully customizable. So customizable is what we have on the website and what we have in our brochures. We can piece together whatever you want. These are just suggested itineraries that you've seen and what we will go through. These are what people are actually traveling on. But customizing your vacation is how many nights do you want to spend in a particular destination? What types of accommodation would you like? Are there any other sightseeing trips that really take your interest as well? We can customize it to a T. So whether it be hotel nights, how many nights you want to stay in each place, you give us a call and we will put that together for you. So an example is you can be doing an itinerary of ours called the Rails to the Grand Canyon. You can add on extra nights at the El Tovar, and you can also add on a Los Angeles getaway, because you might want to spend a couple of days in Los Angeles before flying home. Or we can do it in reverse too. So a common question that we have been seeing by a lot of people, so we'd like to address, well, how Amtrak is maintaining that safe environment. It is very much a hot topic right now, so I'll just run through a few of the policies. So face masks is a new policy, and this will require customers to wear facial covering over their nose and mouth while in the stations, on trains, and also any of the throughway buses that you may end up on. Facial coverings or face masks can be removed when the customers, when yourself, for example, are eating in the designated areas or in your private rooms, or if you are seated alone or with another travel companion in your pair of seats. So there is a little bit of flexibility there as well. And this is really just to safeguard yourself and everybody else. Now, we do know that with small children, it's a bit hard to maintain a facial covering, so they're exempt by, the strict requirement there. We have enhanced a lot of our cleaning protocols, so we have increased the frequency of cleaning services on board trains and at our stations, and we continue to recommend that everybody follow these guidelines around social distancing. We're doing a really good job in Australia, so I know that no matter where we go, we can adapt. We reinforce on board Amtrak good hygiene practices, so we are regularly sharing best practices with employees and customers on ways to protect against any of these diseases. For a little while, we'll be going cashless. Now, that's different for America. So we have added that extra measure to ensure the health and safety of customers and also the employees. We have temporarily suspended cash, and we'll only be taking payments by way of credit card in stations and also on the trains. We have posted social distancing posters and floor stickers. So no doubt if you've been to a supermarket, Australia Post, Bunnings, even there's X marks the spot with where you need to stand. So signage is clearly displayed at a number of the busiest staff stations to be 6 feet apart and to indicate safe distances in some of these high customer traffic areas. Again, this is to protect you, and also such as the waiting rooms as well. So we've got all bases covered. We've also got the stickers in front of ticket offices and at the base and top of escalators, lounge entrances. So there's always that constant reminder to do our part. In addition, clear protective barriers are also at the staff stations. So there are no current glass barriers, and because they just can't logistically fit, but some of these plastic ones can. Sorry, so we have really covered everything that we can there. What else we now need to cover is America on board Amtrak. So we're looking at coast to coast here, one side of the country right to the other. Now the way that, excuse me, the way that this presentation will go is the very first few slides will be a lot more visual, but then what I'll do is it's actually showing you how some of these itineraries are shorter, but it's the same route, or we can customize. So this first one, the coast to coast, is a fabulous 16-day itinerary, and it's 15 nights. And pretty much our lead-in price is from $4,749. It includes New York, Washington, Chicago, Williams, Grand Canyon, LA, and fantastic San Francisco. I do apologize and thank you there. The fabulous New York City, where you have a multi-day hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour of the fantastic New York City, which will include the admission into the Empire State Building. You can get on top of the Rockefeller Center. You can catch a ferry over to the Statue of Liberty and also Ellis Island. You can go shopping down Fifth Avenue, get in a yellow cab just for fun, go down to Greenwich Village, have a look at some of those brownstone buildings there. New York City does not disappoint, and it doesn't matter what time of year you travel to any of these destinations. It is absolutely fantastic. Our gorgeous Washington DC has got a multi-day hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour that is included for Washington, and also you will get to go to the Monuments by Moonlight tour also in Washington. Really, really phenomenal place here on when you visit Washington. Chicago, my personal favorite city. The architecture in Chicago is second to none. So that's what you will really experience on this hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour of Chicago. You can also visit the Bean. You can also go for a bit of a little shopping venture if you're someone who likes to do a bit of a retail therapy whilst traveling. The architecture and some of the restaurants and just that overall experience of Chicago, also known as the Windy City. But believe it or not, it's actually not that windy. And if you end up there on St. Paddy's Day, they actually they fill the water, make it all green. So I absolutely love Chicago, my favorite city there. I think I've said that. Southwest Chief is one of these trains that you will be on that will take you in the Red Rocks, all those beautiful canyon views, the desert landscape, and that will go from Chicago into the Grand Canyon. Now, once you get to the Grand Canyon, you will also have a Freedom Rim tour, and that is it is a nice, easy tour to do. You can go for a little bit of a hike, and it's actually on the South Rim there, so that is the most popular place of the Grand Canyon to visit. That's where you will really see all of the beautiful contrast of colours and all of that rock formation. The Grand Canyon Railway will get you there. So no automobile has ever been on this path before. So jump on board, very scenic. It is a bit of a slower paced train than what some of the other Amtraks are, but that's because we're taking in the views. It's going to get you straight there into fabulous Grand Canyon. Los Angeles, the city of angels. And Los Angeles is like a city of a clump of different cities all formed into one. So you've got downtown, which has really, really come a long way and is really trendy now. You can go down to Hermosa Beach, maybe Laguna, maybe Santa Monica, which is very, excuse me again, which is very popular for a lot of us Australians and New Zealanders. We all are drawn towards somewhere like Santa Monica. This hop on hop off sightseeing tour of Los Angeles will stretch from downtown over to Santa Monica. And it's very interesting to learn whilst you're on there, which is near Venice Beach as well. Definitely well worth going to Venice Beach. Is learning that Santa Monica was the original Hollywood in LA, but then because of the marine layer, there was always clouds, so they had to move it further in. So then obviously we've got the fantastic Beverly Hills, which I know is a major fascination just to go around and look at all these amazing mansions. The Coast Starlight is what will travel from Los Angeles up to San Francisco. The beautiful Golden Gate Bridge up there will be there to greet us. And that is one of the most scenic coastal routes in America. San Francisco, there's a lot of TV shows that are filmed in San Francisco, so we're naturally drawn to seeing what we've seen on TV, to seeing it in real life. The beautiful homes, the architecture, the Golden Gate Bridge, it's a stone's throw away from Napa and Sonoma wine region. Definitely tack on an extra couple of nights there when it comes to San Francisco. So that's the coast to coast from the USA. When we're looking at the Northern Rail Experience round trip from San Francisco, so it's just a shortened version of that. So we're still factoring in a couple of the different places that we just looked at. However, this one incorporates Seattle and it doesn't have places like Los Angeles, but we can always add those on. So the biggest difference here is fabulous getting onto the Empire Builder that would take you from Chicago over to Seattle. You'll see there that they are upper and lower berths, and we will touch on what it's like on board these trains. Now, when we're looking at Seattle, we've got the beautiful, it's on the coastal, so it's very much the nice fringing area there that you can see that a lot of restaurants. There's a beautiful Pike Marketplace. There's also just really good places just to go and check out and walk around. Seattle, and the Space Needle. That's very iconic. Seattle is a very easy place to navigate. So once you've done your hop on, hop off sightseeing tour, you can go for a little wander around as well. So that is that itinerary right there as well. 5 nights on board Amtrak and 6 nights hotel. Now on this map, I will show you what means it's an overnight train journey and what the destination nights are. So where you see San Francisco 2 with a circle, Salt Lake City 2 with a circle, Denver 2 with a circle. That's how many nights you are in that city or that destination. Where you see the arrow with the 1, that's how many nights you are on board the train. So this will really help you decide whether you want to upgrade from a coach class into a sleeper, whether it be a roomette or a bedroom. We'll have a look at a few of those as well. So this is the America Coast to Coast. Again, a shorter version from some of the others that we did see. This one takes in fabulous Salt Lake City and also Denver. So Salt Lake City is the gateway right there to the beautiful sightseeing tour of the Rocky Mountain National Park. Well, that's actually through Denver into Salt Lake City, and Salt Lake City just a fabulous place to go and explore. A lot of people don't go there on their first trip to America, and I guess my question is, why not? It's every city in America has got something different to offer, and Salt Lake City certainly does not disappoint. And you'll see that whilst on the city sightseeing tour. So the fabulous America Coast to Coast is a 11 nights hotel accommodation and 3 nights on board Amtrak. So if you've never stayed on board a train before, this is a really good experience just to get that perfect blend. The All-American. So this is one of the more extensive itineraries, and the biggest point of difference on this All-American is we've been to LA, we've been to San Francisco, we've had a look at the Rocky Mountain National Park outside of Denver on your way to Salt Lake City on that other itinerary. In New Orleans, so the fabulous French quarters of New Orleans, where there's just a fabulous energy about this city. They've got the French Quarter. There's a great music scene here, many bars and restaurants. They also celebrate Mardi Gras. Fabulous place, and the weather is generally always rather nice as well, depending on what, all year round. So the All-American really is a taste of what America has to offer, including national parks, music, cities, and just any of those other kind of destinations that we see a lot of movies like New York and things like that as well. So, it's fabulous. Classic Canada, coast to coast. So I'm going to touch on just a little bit here because they are our friends north of the border. It's not an Amtrak train. It is actually on board Via Rail, which is the national carrier there for our Canadian friends. But we do find a lot of people might go from New York, Boston into Toronto, and then doing Niagara Falls, and then discovering Canada, and then from Vancouver heading into Seattle, San Francisco, down to Los Angeles. So there's a lot here to offer. You can combine the two countries, of course. You will need your passport to travel. We need that anyway to get on the planes to get there. So the Canadian runs between Vancouver and Toronto. Now this journey can be broken up with different stops along the way, but we're just going to look at that one itinerary here. We can arrange anything for you, like extra days in Banff, maybe heading out to the iconic Lake Louise. There's different classes on here. There's the economy class, which is more of your budget. It's your coach class. This is okay for day travel, not something I would recommend. Let's just go back. See that 3 there? I would not recommend being in the coach for the 3 nights. I would look at really going into a sleeper cabin. So we do have economy on there. We do have berths, which are your sleeper cabins, so upper and lower. And by that we mean it's your entry into the sleeper class. So there is privacy at night. There's a bed there for you. They are generally bunk style, so always consider that. And then they fold into seating through the day. We also have cabins for one, and also prestige classes too. So the more you look into it, the more you upgrade. It really depends on what level of comfort you are looking for, whether you want a single bed, double bed, own bathroom, shared bathroom facilities. Let's have a look here at beautiful Peggy's Cove, just outside of Halifax. Halifax, if you like your seafood and lobster, this is a marine town. You've got your old fishing boat trailers that you see going out in the morning, coming back in the evening. Really, really warm and beautiful hospitality here in Halifax, and a lot of history too, because this is a lot of the area where after the Titanic sank, a lot of people were transported to this area of Canada. So there's a lot to discover. We've got the beautiful French part of Canada incorporated in this itinerary as well, of Quebec City. So this is the French area of Canada. You can see here the beautiful Fairmont Hotel, gorgeous architecture. You don't need to be able to speak French. They know that we do make an effort, but they really are French speaking here. Absolutely fantastic. The Fairmont Hotels are a hotel chain across Canada, and they were built along the railway lines. So we can get you into any of those Fairmont hotels. So much history there. My personal favourite chain to stay at when I am in Canada. We've got fantastic Montreal. This is old Montreal here is what we're seeing pictured. And then there's also St. Catherine, which is more the English part. There's St. Denis, which is also a very French area with spiral staircases. You can experience Montreal with fondue or smoked meat. You can definitely join that sightseeing tour of Montreal, and then you can wander around old Montreal of an evening. Absolutely fantastic there. We have Toronto. Toronto is a fabulous city with the CN Tower right there. It is on Lake Ontario. It's a stone's throw away from Niagara Falls, which is a hot destination. The hop on, hop off sightseeing tour will take you to all around the city sites. It is a very easy city to navigate, but you can go to areas like the Distillery District, which was once a brewing area, and now it's converted into condos, but also has fabulous restaurants. So write that one down. Distillery District is a place to really venture and explore. So many restaurants to choose from there. And also it will get you over to all the museums, maybe some of the sporting venues, because Canadians do love their sport. There's the Hockey Hall of Fame as well. I got a little ahead of myself. Here is Niagara Falls here as well, and you get to experience that from the Canadian side. Niagara Falls is the main attraction here, the falls itself. The city, there's a few things to do, a couple of restaurants, but it's spend as much time in the falls, maybe jump on board a Lady of the Mist tour as well. After having 3 nights on board that fabulous train journey, you'll find yourself in Jasper. So this is the fantastic area that has got access to the national park there. Beautiful, clean air, wide open spaces, crystal clear lakes, very tranquil. After Jasper, we can also get you over to Lake Louise as well, and you can spend a couple of nights there and wait for the train to come back, and then we can get you into Vancouver. So we can customize this. On your hop on, hop off, you'll be going to places like Stanley Park. You might choose to do a spot of shopping on Robson Street. You might also choose to possibly go out on a day trip over to Victoria, or also known as Vancouver Island. And this also includes admission into the Vancouver Lookout as well. So fabulous, gorgeous place here. You can take a stroll down by Elizabeth Bay and really explore what Vancouver has to offer. So that is our classic Canada coast to coast. So we've pretty much covered America coast to coast and Canada coast to coast. I've touched on a few of the hotels, whether you'd like to stay at the Fairmont hotel chain in Canada, whether you'd like to stay possibly at the Marriott across America. We can customize that for you. You let us know what you like, 3, 4, 5-star options. Do you want something that's historical, unique to the area, or would you prefer to be loyal to a chain? It's entirely up to you. Location plays a part of this also. Would you prefer to be in a train or near a train station, or further walking distance from that train station? So we have got ample supply of hotels there ready to pair up for you. And when packing for the train, very common question here, you are allowed 2 checked bags. Now we are also allowed generally 2 bags to fly with as well, depending on your airline. Depends on how much shopping you choose to do, of course, so don't go with the bags fully packed. Always keep some room for a bit of shopping, whether it be Chicago, New York, or any other city there. What I recommend to everybody is to take your free carry-on bags on with you and store them above. So this is a picture of the coach accommodations. So what you need out of your larger suitcase, put into your smaller suitcase, and you can stow that up. That way you've always got access to the things that you need, whether it be basic amenities, toothbrush, toothpaste, reading books, you know, a jumper, a sweater, of course, maybe a scarf, comfortable socks. That's what you can put in that bag, and that way you don't have to go and worry about trying to have access to your luggage there. Now, coach accommodation, this is your entry level on board Amtrak. You will see that the seats recline very generously, so even for a few tall people, and also the tray table in front with that lady there, you can see there's quite a lot of legroom. Some people do choose to do this on an overnight journey, but for a little bit extra, you can actually look at a roomette. So that's our coach accommodation there, very comfortable. Our roomette is the first step that you can have to having a bed. And by that, you can see that these rooms are seats by day, and then they convert into bunk bed style for nighttime travel. You also do get assistance from a sleeping car attendant on this, and they actually do that conversion for you. You're not required to, work out how any of these seats convert. You have access also to shower and toilet, which is just a little bit further down the cabin. It's not your own private one. However, in coach class or economy, you don't have access to a shower in there. You do to toilets, but not to a shower. So that's also another reason why a lot of people will look into a sleeper or a roomette. And there's not that much, difference in price, especially when you're looking at an overnight train journey. Being a sleeping accommodation passenger, you also get to board separately. The next step up would be the bedroom. So the difference with this one is it has an in-room sink vanity, but also the enclosed toilet and shower. So you do have your own shower in here. However, I will be honest, we actually find most people go and use the shared ones anyway. It really just depends on your personal preference, but you definitely have a lot more room in this sleeper bedroom, as you can see. We have a dining car. However, if you are in a sleeper, you do have your meals delivered to you. But if you are in the dining car, and also if you are in the private sleeper, you can choose from a variety of chef-prepared meals, including vegetarian. We also can cater for children's meals, of course. When it comes to special meal requests, such as vegan or kosher, we can order those 72 hours in advance. So just let your reservations consultant know, and we can pop that in. All meals are included if you are upgrading into a sleeper car. We also have cafe, which is the lounge cars. And so this is also available in most long distance trains. The lounge car is a popular place to grab just a quick snack or unwind, or even just meet some people. The upper level also goes to the sightseer lounge cars, so you can also get a more dramatic view. So it really depends on where your legs take you. Here's just a couple of examples of some of the chef-prepared meals when you are dining on board Amtrak. We do offer everyday discounts also. So whether you're a child, no, I don't think there's any child on board on this webinar, but whether you're traveling with a child or whether you are a senior, then we can offer you an everyday discount should you be applicable. The maximum flexibility offer, again, we can move your travel dates. The goalposts keep moving for us. We need to keep moving people's travel dates. So there's no harm in finding out where you can travel to, what that price point might look like, and taking it from there. Just, it's pretty much one call takes care of it all. So when you're ready, we're ready. Here are just some of our working staff. We are all home-based right now. Personally, I'm absolutely loving it. I don't have to do that commute into the city, especially at this time of year. I am pitched 5 across and 5 down. That is me with my 3-year-old boss, and she works me hard. But look, whoever you get on the other end of that call, we are ready to take your call. We're fully set up. We can answer any question, even if you don't ask a question during this webinar right now. So don't forget to download those handouts. If you do get stuck, make sure you call us on that number and we can get that out to you. Please ask me questions at any time. I have seen the question box ticking, so I will be answering those questions at the end. So I'm going to ask you a question too. Start to think about this. What rail holidays are we interested in and when? There is nothing like seeing a place like America from a train. Because if you're, and not to flight chain here, but if you're flying, the clouds look the same. But just to see this fabulous country, especially coast to coast, and the diversity that it has to offer, and it doesn't matter what time of year, there's always something unique on offer there in America. So I would like to thank you all for joining me. And before we do end this, I'm just going to answer a couple of these questions. So I have had a question about payment. So with the flexibility offer, how much do you need to pay? Look, that's actually a very common question. So thank you for asking. All we require is a $250 deposit, and it locks it in at that price because we're dealing with different hotels and trains. And as we know, in the world of travel, the more things start to get fully booked or sell out, the more price goes up. So we can actually piece this together for you 24 months in advance. What does that mean? Peace of mind, ideally a lower rate, and ample choice of any hotels, and putting in requests and getting the availability in the sleeper or the roomettes. So the further out you plan, then the more likely we can actually get that perfect itinerary ready for you to explore. I've had somebody else ask me if they wanted to stay in New York an extra day before the itinerary starts. Absolutely, you can stay an extra 3 days. It's entirely up to you. That's what customizing is. You tell us if you want extra nights here and there, if you want nights removed, or if you wanted them added on. Our consultants can do that for you. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you for those questions as well. It always keeps me on my toes. And I do thank you as well just for listening to me. Take myself away from the microphone just a bit for a little cough. You are more than welcome to call us and ask any additional questions. Have a peruse on the website. Start to look at what journeys you're possibly looking at doing next, because we will be able to travel again soon. And be in touch with your local travel advisor. We work with all travel agents, and so we are more than happy to customise your itinerary through your travel agent. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Stay safe.